This is Dr. B, host of The Dr. B Show and founder of Borja Consulting Group, company that helps businesses grow through strategy, branding, and marketing. Today's guest is Nermina Terzić, a former diplomat and strategic energy advisor who specializes in energy diplomacy, international partnerships, policy, and capital raising. She helps connect businesses, institutions, and investors to create opportunities and drive global impact. Let's welcome Nermina Terzić to the Dr. B Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I'm here with the great Nermina Terzić. Nermina, how you doing today?
Hello, Dr. B. So nice to see you. I'm doing very well, very excited for our meeting today, and very excited to share some cool thoughts and introduce.
I'm excited for our conversation. I know it's been a long time coming and scheduling issues, mostly with me. I'm sorry, but we made it happen today.
No worries.
Awesome. Let's jump right into it. Tell everyone about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. B. You are such an inspiration. Few words about my journey, my profile. Well, I'm Croatian originally, born and raised in Zagreb in Croatia. Last few years, I'm in Zurich in Switzerland. That's 11th country in my life work journey. I'm a former diplomat, spent some time working for the Croatian government, lived in China, in Brussels, in Vienna for the Commission for the European Union. And then from 2018, I'm involved in the energy sector, today working from the business side as an independent strategic advisor for different companies, mainly focused on opening new markets, policy advisory, fundraising. I'm working on many different things, just like you, but energy diplomacy, connecting people and businesses, that's my expertise and my passion. When I don't work, but I don't feel like I'm working, it's really enjoyment to create something with great people. I love to play sport, golf, tennis, horse riding. I love to travel and just, enjoy the life.
I love it. I'm not a good golfer, but maybe we got to play golf one day.
Can't wait. I'm ready.
Good. Excellent. Awesome. You said something about diplomacy, right? I'm gonna jump into that really quickly. How'd you get involved with global energy diplomacy?
Dr. B, it was written in the stars, seriously. So from my early childhood, I was very interested in innovations. I was always curious about traveling the world, learning new things, meeting people from different cultures. And I was always very, disciplined child, very organized. I always say, nerd who turned into social butterfly, who never sleeps. And when you put all that together, the career of diplomat was really a natural and logical choice. I'm also very, very lucky and today very grateful that I had this opportunity to realize very early what is my purpose, and that's obviously to reach people, ideas, capital, governments, companies, with the goal to improve the state of the world today. So I started my career in the ministries, in the embassies, worked on many different international projects with wonderful people from all over the world, and that commitment shaped every phase of my career and led me today to start my own energy diplomacy consultancy. When I left, why I left the active diplomacy, it's always a question. And I always say active because you never leave, and why would you leave that? I wanted to do more, Dr. B. I wanted to use my voice, my influence, and my knowledge network to do great things and to help the business sector. And today we are here.
I love it. As he said, it's in the stars. So if it's in the stars, then it's in the stars, right? It was your destiny. So speaking of that, right? So you was a diplomat for a long time. How important is it to even today in 2026, recorded 2026? How's it important today to maintain those partnerships and collaborations you've built over the last, 15, 20 years?
Oh, well, Dr. B, it's crucial, right? The best ideas, they emerge when people come from different cultures, different generations, different disciplines, I would say, but they come together and when they challenge assumptions and build bridges. I believe partnerships and collaborations are always a key driver on our journey. Obviously, there is no but one bullet for success, right? And when we talk how important is communication, how important is network, our contacts, that's all correct. We all know that. I would say that today, crucial is to understand that your network, it's only valuable if you know how to communicate through it. And I see a lot of challenges daily in that field. And that's why I'm helping my clients to work with their relationships. Working with relationships require discipline. I would say diplomatic discipline, meaning to understand when to approach, when to wait, when to listen, and definitely when not to use your relationship simply because it exists.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. You have to. I always say in my two books that I wrote, right? I always talk about the law of reciprocity, right? Not just about hey me. It's about but we, right? What can both parties do to help each other, right? And I think it's important, even even in what you're doing now, which is my next question, right? But I think it's important to still still add value to your network, right? So I love it. So now
Fully
I think
agree.
in addition to everything you're doing now, I think you're also a strategy energy consultant. Now you're in the energy space, right? Pun intended, right? Because I feel the energy. I feel the energy across the pond, right? So, so tell me, what does
Thank
that
you.
mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Being
Well,
a strategy energy consultant.
yeah, well, thank you, Dr. B. I love your books and I love all your work. Highly recommend everyone to follow you. Everyone who wants something more of themselves and of their life should follow you.
Thank you.
Energy strategic consultancy. I know it sounds very fancy and very maybe weird at some point, very confusing. I'm sure you will agree with me, Dr. B. Energy sector, it's about human civilization, okay? It's not only about business. And it is a foundation of global growth, geopolitics, AI, global energy reset. So it is a privilege today to be a part of that field. I'm very grateful. But at the same time, I always say to my team, my colleagues, and as a mentor to my girls, we should take the transition seriously. We should also be responsible, right? So my job as a strategic energy consultant today, my job and my passion is to bridge institutions, business, and academia together. Academia, it's very important, holistic approach is the key. In the world of fast technologies, AI, and all those cool things today, human approach and those, let's say, soft skills are the key because soft skills are everything but not soft, right? They're business skills. So my job is to connect people with the right people, connect people with the opportunities, connect people with the capital. I think you can explain and learn us more this weekend. Give them basically opportunity to sit in the strategic rooms because access is everything, and to help them to understand policy advisory in order to get the influence, in order to get the project, and in order to communicate about the strategy. Combination of the networking, information from the world of energy, and connection with institutions. So as a consultant, I'm trying to provide my clients with all available informations, and you know that information is a currency today. So it's always very important to present few scenarios. In the end of the day, management will decide and make a final decision. It is crucial to build long-term cooperative relationships because that's how we build our world, loyalty, and that's how we create a strategy. And then when we have all that, in the end, success is just a logical consequence. Being a former diplomat, honestly, for me, it's very helpful today. Diplomacy is a business superpower, not only business, it's emotional intelligence, right? You need to negotiate the moment you wake up with somebody, maybe partner, maybe the lady in the grocery, maybe colleagues, but it's emotional intelligence. So international, when we, think about the international business, it's not only about markets. Today it's all about people, it's about politics and perspective. So I'm here to put everything in one sentence. I'm here to make things a little bit easier and also a little bit faster for my clients.
Love it. I love it. I love it. You brought up an interesting point, right? So like AI is like you either adapt or you get left behind, right? But I come from the world excuse me, I talk so fast. I come from the world of higher ed, and you know about that as well. How is that? How is that still important as far as bringing higher educational institutions into the fold, on top of everything you just mentioned, right? The public policy, of course, all the private organizations, and then higher ed. Like, how do you think they should all kind of work together?
No, they need to work together. The only way to do something seriously and something huge is if we sit together, business sector, academia, institutions, if we share our perspectives, because we speak different language. This is the key. in most of the cases, we have the same goal. And in most of the cases, there is a capital. When people say there is no capital, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong room. Okay, capital is everywhere. There is a capital, there is a knowledge, but the language is a problem. We should understand each other. Don't be brilliant and invisible. I cannot mention that enough. And like yourself, I'm also a huge fan of knowledge as the biggest capital. So education is a key, but of course, cooperation is the most important. And I will always vote for collaboration, for the teamwork, not only because it's beneficial, it's essential.
It is. It is essential, especially with all the parties involved, right? So I love it. Let's talk about. Um, I was gonna ask you about something, but I'll move on to something else really quickly. So, you know, I've done some speaking gigs. You've done some speaking gigs, right? And of course, individuals want to do more, right? So, how important is getting the word out when it comes to creating that trust, especially when, obviously this show is about real estate, but predominantly raising money, right? How important is that as far as making that connection with the audience? How important is that to get the word out, creating that trust in order to raise capital?
Think it's crucial. It's really crucial from my perspective. Success can only be achieved if we build long-term cooperative relationships, if we have trust in each other. And I'm fully confident that we will achieve this needed balance in the energy world at some point. So when I talk about my sector, but I think in general, energy transition and raising the capital today changes the way we must read the world. So technology, industry, capital, education, they're often treated as a separate fields, but they are increasingly depend on the same physical foundation. So behind every digital platform, behind every industrial base, strategic ambition, if you want, there must be an infrastructure capable of producing, moving, and securing funds and work. So today, the issue, it's not only technical, right? The issue, it's geopolitical, it's financial, it's industrial. And when we think about the future, because we need to focus on the future, we cannot think about the past. Past is good for to analyze and to improve ourselves, but we need to focus on future and create opportunities. I'm fully confident that the coming decade will reward those who understand these dynamics, and not as a background noise, but as a layers of growth, autonomy, and influence. So it is really, really this delicate balance is crucial.
I love it. Yeah, it's a walking a fine line, right? Right when it comes to that, right? So, which segues to my next question. Everything kind of all ties together. It's about positioning, right? It's very important, right? Because you can have the numbers all you want, right? But if you don't have the right positioning, right, or value prop, who's gonna wire the money, right? What's your opinion on that?
It's crucial, Dr. B. It's crucial. As Kissinger said, the father of diplomacy, if you are not around the table, you are on the menu, right? And we don't want to be at the menu. If I am, I want to be a cake. But joke aside, if you're not there, I cannot choose you. And if I don't understand you, I will not trust you, right? So positioning is really crucial. And when we think about the global energy diplomacy, energy transition is still happening everywhere. I'm in Switzerland, you are in the US, it's happening. But the language being used is different. Today, we are positioning energy transition as a resilience. That's the next phase. So energy transition is about security, resilience, and technology. To be in a right room, I always say to my clients, I know you are ready for the conversation. My job is only to put you in the strategic room, and then you will do the magic. But if you don't know for these rooms, and if you don't know how to negotiate and present yourself to these people, nothing will happen. I saw that many times, unfortunately, in my past life. A lot of wonderful people, very educated, very capable, nothing happened. As a strong believer in knowledge, as the strongest capital, the same like you, I always encourage everyone, please ask people for help, educate yourself, visit different summits, different online things. Today, it's not expensive like before, you can join online, you can connect easily with people from all over the world. I'm super excited for the weekend and for the summit. This is unique opportunity. 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have that. I needed to wait in a library to get a book for 1 week, 2 weeks, right? And today, with one click, you have a knowledge. You have 2 hours to understand and to get all the information that somebody else collected for 15, 20 years. How much is that? It's really, there is no excuse today to be not successful, not to be educated, not to be ready. There is no excuse today. So I cannot encourage enough people to really educate, to connect with the right people, and to position yourself as someone who is, ready to learn more, as someone who is ready to cooperate and ready to create. I believe we live in a society. We are consuming a lot of things. Okay, you are creating your whole life, but most of the people, they are consuming. That's not the way. Position yourself as someone who is ready to create anything, anything in your life. Just create something wonderful, something bigger than you. And yeah, as a diplomat, I learned that some specific techniques through all my education. Very grateful to be close with the excellency, with the politicians, where you can learn a lot of psychology. But you don't have to work for the government to understand. I always say that's emotional intelligence, right? You should be a builder of your own life and your own reality. Whatever you are doing today, just do it in a proper way and with a good intention. If you have a little bit of power, a little bit of influence, do it in a good way. Do it for a good things.
I love it. That was a fantastic answer. I love it. And
Thank
you brought up,
you.
you made me bring up a good point, an interesting point, right? Or think about another point where you could put some people in the rooms with like the right decision makers, right? But if they don't know how to like work the room, how to position themselves as an expert in energy or expert in raising capital or expert in multifamily or single family, whatever it is, then they're gonna bomb, right? And they're gonna do terrible in the room and they're gonna say, oh, why am I getting not getting any deals? Why am I not raising any money? It's all about again positioning yourself, right? And being able to how to work those rooms, correct?
Yes, you're 100% right. I'm always inspired. No matter how many times we talk and I read everything you post and
Thank
share
you.
with us, thank you for that. I'm always inspired. It's never enough to emphasize this topic. How important is to communicate. How important is to present yourself in a proper way. The language, we speak different language, and there is no black white. Everything is good and everything is wrong. It depends how you're using that, right? And depends for who. So we are all good and bad, depends for who. But what is very, very important, in my own opinion, is to educate yourself, to join different online things, to join different conferences and seminars. There is no excuse. I was always a nerd, so for me there was no excuse 15 years ago.
Right.
But interesting nerd, I have to say that. And even today, imagine today it's so easy, one click, and this weekend we are together with you. We can learn more. So it's really wonderful moment today, and everyone should use this moment. We have to rethink everything we know.
Yeah.
That's crucial thing. But then when we rethink, when we understand what is our path and our journey, when we are aligned, we can move further and join with the right people and do capital. It's everywhere. I hear every day a lot of complaints like we cannot find investors, we don't know how to do that, they don't like us. It's not about that. It's really about the energy. It's really about the clarity. You
Yeah.
know, clarity is the key. If you don't understand me, why would you trust me? Then even €1, it's too much to invest in me, right?
Right.
So
Right.
clarity and knowledge, it's really a key. And be proactive, invest your time and your funds in something for yourself and your journey.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We're almost winding down. I wish we could do more, but it is what it is. But I love it. Let's one of the first steps in any deal, Nermina, is analyzing a deal, right? We were talking about that earlier, right? So, in your opinion, like, what do you do for investors that provides value? Like, I think I read about your profile a little bit, de-risking projects, aligning regulation, policy with returns, make helping with the narrative, becoming investor ready. So, like, what your opinion? Like, what's the first thing you do in order to help your clients when it comes to analyzing a deal
Mm-hmm.
or any deal?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Dr. B. I work in a big team. I'm so grateful to work with different people coming from different sectors, different industries, with the financial team, engineering team. So everyone is bringing the best of themselves to the team. In my case, my job is how I like to work and build together with the clients in 3 phases. So in the first phase, we usually discuss about the strategy, about positioning. Many times you need to change the narrative. Many times you need to do stakeholder mapping, priority alignment. to establish, to do a story, prepare the storytelling. And sometimes, since I work in the energy, it's very, politically sensitive sector, we need to think about the regulations as well. So this is the first phase, and everyone needs that. Okay, everyone needs to think about the strategy, and communication strategy should be a part of the corporate strategy. So it's not only marketing. This is a deal breaker or deal maker. So that's the first phase. And when we know where we are and what we want to do, then the second part is to connect them with the right investors. So I'm doing investor introductions, sometimes with the government, sometimes with the family offices, VC funds. Being in Switzerland, I'm surrounded with family offices. Luxembourg is here, Liechtenstein is here, so it's very easy. Organize different meetings. That's the second phase. And the third phase is the magic. So we decide, okay, in which direction we will go. Sometimes we do also institutional outreach. For example, in Europe, you have a lot of EU funds, different foundations. You can raise the money from the government. I worked for the European Commission, so I'm very familiar with the process. Always encourage my clients, use the institution. Don't go to the bank and take a loan. You can always do that. Why not to use the institution? Especially for some projects with a social impact, like energy infrastructure, water industry. These waste management projects are very cool. And I always think that if you can do something, you can do that in 3 months. You don't need 3 years for something. If you're really well connected and if you're really dedicated, make it in 3 months. And 3 months period is a fantastic for my clients to test me to see if I'm connected and if I know what I'm doing, or I'm just a sweet talker. And of course, for them to decide then after 3 months if we're gonna move forward or whatever would happen. It's really good approach because they can see results very efficiently. And I always advise everyone, take ex-government person as a consultant. Not only me, it can be anyone of my profile because we are connected. We are very connected and we can do things much faster than most of the big four companies. Nothing against them. I have a lot of wonderful friends in big four. I don't see them that often because they work 24/7. But government people can do much faster things. It's logical. So everyone should have at least one person to make things faster.
I like it. I just realized that I have someone here in Jersey without realizing it. So it makes a lot of sense, right? To always have someone, on the public side that can help you, right? Move things along, right? So that makes a lot of sense.
Joker. You need a Joker call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And I love your three phases, right? Like helping the investor, making a connection, and then step three, making that magic happen. So see, it's very easy to remember. I pay attention. I do
Thank
pay attention
you.
to these interviews. I do. I swear.
Thank you.
Um, one of my last questions is, all right, what are the final thoughts, or in your opinion, final thoughts? You have a lot of folks that listen on, mostly in the world of real estate. Others, they raise money for other stuff, right? But what's the final thoughts, in your opinion, the best, what can you do for these individuals that are raising money now? What's your advice? Final advice, piece of advice.
Final advice. It's a very good time to start. It's always good times to start. Connect with the right people. Ask for help. People want to help. People want to do introductions, but most of us are shy. Okay, you and me, we are not shy, but most of the people are shy. Maybe they're ashamed, maybe they're afraid to ask, but join the club. You have a lot of you are the perfect example and role model, Dr. B, where you can join the community and raise the capital, meet interesting people, meet like-minded people, right? Internationally. So how we met, you are in the US, I'm in Switzerland. So it's possible if you are interested and if you want to do something more. Current geopolitical shift and all these situations, they are making us all rethink everything, not only energy topics, but also new energy hubs, financial centers, international new markets. I think we need to remember that every energy shock will lead to economic shock. And while we are working personally on the sustainability of the energy markets today, at the same time, we have to think about the security and financial stability. So it is a delicate balance. It's main responsibility. Obviously, it's a teamwork. It's a significant moment to remember what visionary and pragmatic energy diplomacy can do. But the final advice is connect with the right people, join the community, ask for help, and create with wonderful team. international projects. Everything is possible, everything is out there. You just need to be ready to do something, you know, big and important in your own life. To be a creator, not only consumer.
I love that. Yeah, instead of just scrolling on TikTok, actually creating content, as they say, right? I love it. Where could people find more information about you or your services, your website, LinkedIn? Tell us how to find you.
Well, I'm always available for wonderful contacts, for inspiring people, great projects. I'm based in Zurich, in Switzerland. If you're in Switzerland, let's have a coffee, lunch, dinner, whatever. I'm a foodie. If you're not in Switzerland, I'm very often to Vienna since I still have a contract with the UN, with the working group. So Vienna, London, Zurich. In September, I will be in New York for the Climate Week. So more than happy to meet interesting people from New York for the next 2 weeks. You can find me on LinkedIn. Also, my email is there. I can share later, or we can, add the contact details. WhatsApp as well, always available. It's important to know what you want to do. It's important to be proactive. It is important to do good things. I think we need to do good things together. And of course, if you want to see me as soon as possible, this weekend is a fantastic opportunity at the Capital Summit together with you, Dr. B. I'm super excited. That's the first possible moment where we can meet, but then again, and LinkedIn is a perfect, I think, platform to exchange ideas, and then from there we can make a magic.
Thank you. I enjoyed this interview. You gave a lot of good gems. And then you have an interesting background with the being a diplomat, the energy section, and a lot of nice little gems you gave on raising capital. So I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much, Dr. B. Always a pleasure and inspiration with you, and I'm looking forward for the future.
Thank you, Nermina Terzić, everybody. Thank you so much.